Can you hear me, Susan? Can you hear me, Susan?
I can hear you, ma'am.
My camera not even showing inside. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're live.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you, ma'am. You can proceed.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you very well.
Hello, can anyone hear me? Hi. Sorry.
Yes, we can. We can. We can hear you, ma'am.
Susan, I can't hear you if you're speaking.
I can hear you quite well.
Siri. Okay, there. Uh-huh. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. I can hear you quite well.
No, I have a question. For the past what have they been doing in that event now? Is it a big kind of event? Because at least if they've not been hearing, they should have moved past this and go to the next.
There are four stages, four rooms. So I'm supposed to take the first this thing on the room four. Everything is happening. So people choose the topic they want
They
to
want to
listen to.
join. Okay. So only few people are in your room. So,
Mm.
so that whether they like it or not, they just stay there till the session
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you properly. We can.
Hello?
We can
Yeah,
hear
I
you
can hear you.
properly now.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Diogo. Can you hear me too?
We can hear you.
Fine, fine.
Hello, Miss Diogo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes, I
Yeah.
can. Good afternoon, everyone. And I
Good
am glad to
afternoon.
welcome you all to this amazing session, whereby we'll be talking about AI powered threats and AI driven defense in celebration of the AWS Students Community Day in March 2025. And I'm sure we're all happy to be here because this is an amazing session. And this is workshop room 4, whereby under this session we're discussing about critical security insights every next generation builder must understand. And to proceed, I would be reading the profile of Miss Diogo. Ms. Diogo Anyekwe is an information security analyst with strong experience across threat detection, incident response, and cloud security. She is passionate about simplifying complex security concepts, empowering learners, and helping organizations strengthen their cybersecurity posture. Angela also leads a community driven mentorship program at Expadocs Lab, where she guides aspiring tech professionals through practical hands on projects. I'm sure we're all happy to have Miss Diogo here. Miss Diogo, welcome. We're so happy to have you here and
Thank you.
would like to
Um,
hear a lot of amazing insights about the security with AI.
all right, Susan, thank you very much. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, sorry about the technical issues. So far,
No
it's
problem.
been some kind of day, and I'm trying to fix my camera, but I believe before the end of the call, I'll find a way around it. Perhaps we
All
can
right.
just work with what we have now. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead to share my screen. All right. Let me know when you can see my screen, please.
All right. Yeah, I can see it now.
All right. So let me just get it in a presentation mode. Okay. So the slide is on full screen now, right?
Yes, properly.
All right, thank you very much for that introduction, and thank you again. Thanks to the AWS Unilearning team for having me here today. I'm so delighted to be talking about one of the topics I like to talk about, and is issues in cybersecurity. And today we're going to be talking about AI powered threats, and there are different perspectives to it. So I'm going to start with what AI powered threat is. So the topic is divided into two phases. We have the attacker's perspective. In cybersecurity, we call anybody who tries to cause a harm in the cyber world, we call them either attackers, or we call them hackers, we call them cyber criminals, but for simplicity, attackers are always the best words when we want to talk about cyber criminals. And I'm going to start by talking about AI powered threats from the perspective of attackers. Now, from definition, it's easy to say that AI powered threats are any kind of cyber attack that uses artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence includes is a subset of machine learning or a broader set of machine learning and automation. So these keywords are very important. When you talk about the use of AI, the use of automation in making attacks to be faster, you're talking about making it more scalable, you're talking about making it more convincing and making it harder for defenders. Defenders are us who are cybersecurity professionals. So whenever an attack is in this scale where it is automated, it is massive, and it is taking all forms of action or all forms of tactics to get difficult to detect, and there is automation to it. That is a kind of, or how you define AI powered threats. So what it does is, or AI powered threats from the other perspective or from another, the attacker's point of view, it is what AI does here is that AI is like a force multiplier, meaning that it increases the force, it increases the scale at which cyber criminals can carry out cyber attack. Now, why would attackers want to use AI? That is one thing that you'll be talking about. This is an AI world. Everybody is talking about AI. We use AI in our daily activities. We use it in our daily work. We use it in our daily lives. Just the same way we use artificial intelligence in our daily lives and activities is the same way hackers or attackers would also use it in their daily activities. Now, why would an attacker use AI? That is the first thing you might want to talk about. Now, the first thing you want to talk about is scale. So, when you use AI to carry out tasks, even in your daily life, you do more work. So AI powered threats is easy to scale, meaning that your AI or your automation or your machine can perform thousands of tasks in the fastest manner. You can have what would take 100 humans to do in 100 days. You can have your AI do it in less than 1 hour. That is the scale at which hackers or attackers can launch cyber attack. They just want to leave the traditional means and go straight to using artificial intelligence. And the second part is on personalization. You have people, most of us, if not all of us, who have access to emails, have been, or access to phone calls, have been victims of what we call phishing attacks. And that is you seeing someone or having someone send you an email and they call your name. They give you details that they know of you in the email. And at the end of the day, you don't even think twice. You're already thinking that this is real because they have a thread, or they have a history of you, or they have a history of details of an organization. So with artificial intelligence, it is very easy to study anything, get all the context that you need, and launch an attack with it. Another one I also want to talk about is evasion. AI powered threats, even though I'll still talk about the other side of it, but we have traditional tools, we have the traditional solutions that we use. We have antiviruses, we have some other low level EDR tools or low level security tools that we use that are majorly traditional. When it comes to the use of artificial intelligence, you can use artificial intelligence to bypass or get evasion, meaning that it will be difficult to detect that a hack or an attack is going on in an environment. And we also have the side of cost efficiency. So it's always difficult to create AI products. You talk about the infrastructure you need to get your machine learning, your GPUs, train data, and all those good stuff. You talk about the difficulty in setting them up. But once you've managed to set them up, it can replicate all the amount of effort that have gone into the setting up of the infrastructure where you build your AI tools. You can get massive results at the end of the day when it comes to that. Then another one too is looking at some of the examples of AI powered threats. We are talking about AI generated phishing campaigns. Like I told us earlier, AI models, they can help you. ChatGPT, for instance, you have your ChatGPT conversations and history, and you've had a lot of, since ChatGPT came out in 2022 or so, you must have been interacting with it, and you go to ChatGPT and just tell it to give you details about yourself. It will be so apt that you'd wonder if it is your other self. And this is what one of the ways that AI powered threats can be used in AI generated phishing campaigns. It makes the phishing campaigns very perfect. It puts all the context that makes it so personal that no one would believe that that campaign was, that phishing or that email came from a bad source or an unknown source. And there is this news circulating in the cyber threat landscape that, when people call you, when random numbers call you, and no one says anything at the end of the call, you keep shouting hello, 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 and at the end of the day you get angry and you end the call. These are AI automated calls. They're just getting to clone your voice so that they can use the voice to go after the people who trust you. So you have random numbers calling your family and they're speaking so much like your voice. There is no difference. So all these phishing campaigns, smishing campaign, voice phishing campaigns are one of the ways that AI is making a lot of wave in the cyber threat landscape. There is this issue that happened in February. We talked about the Bybit hack that happened in February this year. And one of the ways or the simplest attack vector that caused that threat was a phishing email. And how did the attackers know that the developer that we're going to target has things to do with stocks? It's just because of AI. You just need to give feed in, just find random data about a user or get all their social media links joined together and use that. All the AI can just go to Instagram, it can go to LinkedIn and download every single thing this person has ever talked about and use it to craft emails that can sound so real that the targets or the victim will not even think twice before they accept or take action. And we have this is age of AI. There are lots of deep fakes going around. You see random videos on the internet and it is you see where someone is trying to impersonate the president. You see the president saying things that you would doubt he'd say, and at the end of the day will say it's AI. So this is the thing, one of the ways that AI is powering threats. You can use AI to create deep fakes, impersonate people, and use it to convince them until they take action. We have the automated AI enhanced malware. Now it is easy to work on code. It is easy to build code. Right now, you don't need to be a JavaScript, you don't need to be a software engineer to write code or to do things with code. And this is the same way that you can use AI to build your own custom malware tools. You can also use it to make the malware tools to change behavior, change appearance, to be able to avoid detection in your target environment. You can use it to select or power program it in a way that when the malware gets there, it leaves the original place where it should be, meaning that it could leave where it could get caught or get detected to switch to a place where the eyes of the detection tool won't get to see it and all those good stuff. We have AI driven password and guessing attacks. We have a case scenario in cybersecurity called brute force. Brute force is a situation where you have someone to keep trying out different passwords. For instance, he wants to log into your Facebook account, for instance. You could start trying numbers. He knows people use their birth dates as their passwords. They use their phone numbers. They use the number of their mom, or they use some kind of information that is personal to them as passwords or as usernames. You have attackers, they keep trying, they try that, and at the end of the day, if there is a defense system on the app, they could get logged out and locked your account could get locked out until you go ahead to verify that it was you. But in this age of AI, there is a difference, meaning that AI can look at your history and predict likely passwords that you could use. It could go through different databases of leaked credentials, gather all the things that has to do with you there, and use it to guess what your next password could be. So this makes it easy or easier at first or second try. You fall a victim of AI powered threats. And the last part of it is active automated reconnaissance. What is reconnaissance? In cybersecurity, reconnaissance simply means information gathering. Before you launch an attack on anybody at all or on any organization at all, the first thing you do is you need to gather information. If not, you would launch an empty attack. An organization that is using, for instance, AWS, if you want to launch an attack on that organization, you know that you have to look at AWS security system and know how the company is matching up and know how to break it. If not, if you don't have those information, you could go start using Azure or Google Cloud or Oracle related systems to launch an attack on an AWS environment, and is a waste of time. So there are lots of things that has to do with reconnaissance in cybersecurity or in cyber threat. So that initial stage, artificial intelligence can give you automated reconnaissance, and what it would take you to get in days, you can get in minutes. So this matter a whole lot because you have speed. When it comes to AI powered threats, there is speed. Attacks would occur too quickly than the way it would do if it was a human manual attack, and it would be occur too quickly that it would be a bit difficult for humans to detect. And the volume of attack, meaning that they can spur you with attack, that they disorganize the whole organization system, and they find loopholes when the organization is scattered trying to fix this, fix that, because of the different kinds of attacks they are getting. They find a loophole in between, and then the organization falls a victim. And the quality of attack too, it's improved when it comes to AI, because there is a limit to what a human knows. But if you add your human intelligence with artificial intelligence, you are also very powerful, and your attack is almost unstoppable. And now let's look at how AI is changing the speed and scale of attack. I've talked about this a bit, and this is just to tell us that AI, since the advent of artificial intelligence, the cybersecurity landscape has drifted, it has moved with a speed of light. This is because AI has fundamentally reshaped how quickly and how widely attackers can operate. So in the past, cyber attacks most times is manual efforts. You have somebody who is trying to learn how to hack, you have a script kiddie, that's what we call them, or you have even nation state attackers. They still do lots of manual things on their own. But now, when they do manual things, it limits the how many targets they could get at a particular time, or how big their target or their attack could be on the target. But now, a lot of things has changed. So before AI, it used to be maybe one attacker or one attack group. They have one target. Let's take, for instance, they want to target, let me just give an imaginary name of an organization. They want to target Sophia Group, for instance. They would channel all their resources, channel all their energy into targeting Sophia Group. At the end of the day, they launch one attack, and that attack is solely on Sophia Group. But today, with modern automated attacks with artificial intelligence, it has changed the game. So one hacker group, for instance, can now have multiple targets at the same time. So what they just need to do is have an oversight on what their artificial intelligence attack program is doing. And with that, they can continuously launch multiple attacks on multiple organizations all at the same time. So it is scary, right? But this is the real thing. And now looking at the AI driven defense from the point of view of defense system, or from the defender's perspective, like us who are cybersecurity professionals, we call ourselves defenders. So looking at it from this point of view, what has AI driven defense, or what does it entail on AI driven defense? So now, excuse me. Okay. So we are talking about, initially I spoke about how artificial intelligence and automation is used to launch attack in the most scalable, in the most sophisticated manner. But this time around, it's just like aura for aura, band for band. Attackers are using artificial intelligence to work, or to scale their attack, or to cause more harm than good. On the same side, on the flip side rather, defenders like us, we are also using the same artificial intelligence, we are using the same automation to detect, to predict, to respond to cyber threats in as fast as the attacks are coming. We are also using the same energy to defend it. So at the end of the day, it is a battle of whose own intelligence is greater, or whose own machine learning or automation or machines is greater than the other. And there are different ways that artificial intelligence help defenders. Just the way attackers use automation, we also use automation to match the speed, or to even exceed the speed. And also AI can also detect, majorly this is seen on everyday work, AI can detect early signs of attacks even when it is coming from another artificial intelligence program or artificial intelligence tool. At the end of the day, it is an automated machine learning driven tool or solution. So at the end of the day, the defenders are also working and they're also winning on that part too. So now let's look at some examples of AI driven defense that we can get out there in the defense landscape or in the cybersecurity defending landscape. We're looking at AI threat detection. Threat is any attack, or for instance, any, how will I put it? Okay, now threat is like any issue or any attack or any bad thing that is coming to affect an organization. It can be affecting it immediately, it can be affecting it later on, but any bad thing that can happen to an organization. And now in threat detection, when you are using AI driven defense tools or you're using AI driven defense solutions, you are looking at your AI tool or your machine or your solution that has artificial intelligence is looking at patterns, is looking at what has been there before, and if there is anything that drifts from what has been there. For instance, you have a system, an application that records user requests, like 1,000 user requests every single day. It has been going on for the last 1 week, last 1 month, last 1 year, and today there is 1,000, there is 2,000 requests in 1 day. That is a shift from baseline. So your AI tool is going to detect that the pattern has shifted or the system behavior has shifted, and what it will do is it will trigger the professionals working to have a look at what is going on so they can be able to mitigate or respond to that incident quickly. It could come from another a threat, it could come from a system performance or errors in the system, whatever, but it gives you or it tells you whenever there is a drift in the baseline or a drift in the pattern. The artificial intelligence program or the solution, the security solution that has artificial intelligence will also help you track that. You have strange login attempts. For instance, a user keeps logging in from Nigeria every single day, and tomorrow that user logs in from the UK or logs in from the US. It's a drift in pattern. Your artificial intelligence program is also going to let you know about this. Any suspicious transfer or anything at all that is wrong, that is above or below what has been going on, that is known to the system. Now, it's also in the area of fraud detection. You can use artificial intelligence to also detect fraud. The way people create deep fakes, the way people create fake users, everything that they can create in the with regards to fraud, you can also use AI to detect fraud. You can use it for fintech apps, e-commerce platforms, for banking, and other places where fraud is on the high end. And we're talking about the next example, which is endpoint detection and response. Endpoints is like your system, your computer, your phone, your data, AWS environments, your servers. Those are endpoints. So these are very prime targets of attackers because there are a lot of things that can be in a system or in a server. A server in tech, as we all know, is like a system that holds data or that has very huge information or that is even providing access to a lot of tools. So meaning that if an attacker lays hold of an employee system or a server, for instance, a lot can go wrong. So in this area, we have lots of security solutions that are driven by AI. That's why we call them endpoint detection and response. We have tools like Sentinel-1, we have tools like CrowdStrike, Falcon, we have McAfee. These are different lots of advanced machine learning tools that can help you as attackers. So the good side of it is that as attackers are developing artificial intelligence to launch huge attacks, the same way on the defense side, the defenders are also upgrading our tools. We are also upgrading our solutions with the same aura or with the same energy that the attackers are using. We are also using it too. So whenever there is a new kind of attack, even before that is launched, and there is this part of cybersecurity that talks about thinking from the attacker's perspective. That means these AI solutions are also built like from the perspective of an attacker. You are looking at the engineers are looking at how the AI threat would evolve in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 month, in the next 1 year, and they are building the solutions, the EDR solutions, to also meet those kind of possible new attacks. And then we have the area of user behavioral analytics. Users are like us, people who work in an organization, and it looks at your behavior, how you log in, what time you log into your workstation, how often you log in, how long you spend, the amount of data you upload or you download. All those things are your user behavioral analytics. So this is one of the ways that AI helps as well. If there is anything that is different from what the user has been doing or what the user has been known to do, the AI defense system or AI driven defense system will also get trigger. It will trigger this for the people or the professionals working to have a look at this. So, what does this mean to next generation builders? This is the point of this whole session. We are talking about AI driven attack and defense. And you, as a builder, most of us here are developers, most of us here are product designers, we are all tech professionals working on something, one thing or the other. What does this AI power threat or this threat landscape mean to you? Now, for developers, for cloud engineers, data scientists, founders, the way AI has risen, the way AI powered defense tool has risen will change the entire course of how a product is built. What do I mean by this? Now, this is where you come in as a builder. You're building a solution. Now you are aware of AI powered threats. You are aware of AI powered defense system. This is where you start. Before you design your application, web app, mobile app, command line application, desktop application, whatever application or whatever system, even your AWS infrastructure environment, before you design it, before you build it, you have to first think secure by design, not secure later. So you don't just build application like that and say, okay, when we become big, we will start talking about security. AI security starts from the day you think about an application is the day you think about security. That is what a branch of cybersecurity we call threat modeling. Before you design your application, how it will talk to how one system or components of the application will talk to the other, the first thing you should talk about or you should think about is, how is this secure? This movement of data from login to database or storage, how is it protected? What kind of security are we ensuring in that communication? When this is this, how do we ensure communication? How do we ensure security of the application from the birth of that application, from the time it was built up until the usage? We are talking about least privilege. We are talking about what people would have access, what privilege would they have on the system, what kind of security are we embedding, how deep is the security we are embedding on this application. We are talking about zero trust. Okay, I know that the database has to talk to storage, but how often, how do they trust each other, or how often do they trust each other, how often do they communicate, how the constant communication, how does it impact the security of the application? These are the things that you talk about. Privacy, data, you want to protect your users, you want to protect every single thing or every single data or part of that application, and you can't do that after you've built the application. If not, you might need to build it from scratch again. So you have to first think secure by design, not secure later. And the other side is on data privacy. Most times AI, not even most times, everything about artificial intelligence is data. Take away data from ChatGPT, it does not have anything to offer you, even when it is an AI tool. So AI trains on massive data sets. So this is where you also want to ensure that now you plug in artificial intelligence tool in applications to make it faster or to do whatever. You want to make sure that the AI tool in your application is not mishandling data, is not exposing it, is not creating any legal consequences or any ethical issues or any security risk at all in your application or in your system. You want to make sure that data that is being collected from the users is being stored properly, is being encrypted. You want to make sure that AI does not have access to data, or it doesn't have access to data that it doesn't need access to. You want to make sure that data is retained and data is disposed when they are no longer needed. You want to make sure that there are no sensitive data that is being handled by the AI that you've plugged into your application. And then on the side of it, there are lots of data scientists and lots of machine learning engineers. This is the bedrock of artificial intelligence. The model is the bedrock. We have a tool on or a service on Amazon called Amazon Bedrock. Is just like a marketplace for artificial intelligence models. The security of your models is very important. You want your models, you don't even want them to be the attack or the target itself or the tool for attack. So you want to ensure that the models are secure. There is lots of security measures that you must have had in place. There is access control. It has resilience to prompt injections. It has monitoring for the model outputs. It's protected against any kind of model extraction or model misuse. And as much as you don't want to access is the model of your artificial intelligence tool is very, very important. The security of that model is very, very important when you talk about artificial intelligence. So now to round up this session, can you still hear me? I
We
want to be
can
sure I'm not.
properly.
All right, thank you very much. So this is the final takeaway for this session. So this is just to tell us that artificial intelligence is now a weapon. It is a shield. The way you use it for your daily work is the same way, the exact same way people will use it to do bad things. So you want to be ensure that you are using your shield as much as others are using their weapon, or you are matching energy using your shield with others who are using AI as a weapon. You want to also know that attacks are becoming smarter and faster and more automated. As you are improving your skills, artificial attackers are also improving their skills with the use of AI. So if you're an AI engineer, you're learning how to use AI to do good work, to build applications, or to integrate it into other solutions. Also know that some people out there are also using it to do the same work as you're doing. And as you're working smarter, they are working smarter. As you're automating things, they are automating things. You also want to make sure that you shift. The defense is shifting from manual reaction to more intelligence automated. So you want to make sure that the security team or the security of your application does not rely on just signatures, or it doesn't rely on creating custom rules or human monitoring, just have people look at it alone. No, AI driven tools will also help you to they will help you to analyze the behavior, predict threats. Very, very important. That prediction is like a hallmark of it, and it helps you to also contain, even though it's not the best practice to have AI do things for you automatically within your environment. You want to have a second check do it, but it can still do it for you as well. And lastly, the future belongs to those who does not build security, who build security by default, sorry. So you have to make sure that security is a very default feature of any application or you're building or any system you are designing. So I think this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. I will take your questions in 5 minutes.
Right. Thank you very much, Miss Diogo, for that powerful and eye-opening session. It was really amazing. You really opened our eyes to how cybersecurity threats in AI occur and how these threats affect the effectiveness of our programs and apps that we use today. And you also emphasize the importance of data privacy and monitoring every of our activity on the internet. So following that, be asking if there is any question from the audience. You can kindly drop your questions in the comments and she would respond to them promptly. Okay, if there are no questions, a survey form ahead of the main community day tomorrow at the Ilorin Innovation Hub has been dropped in the comments. Yes, ahead of the main community day tomorrow, which will be happening at the Ilorin Innovation Hub tomorrow by 9 a.m. And I really encourage every student who is interested in everything about cloud security and cloud platform generally to make sure they attend this session. Thank you very much, Ms. Diogo, and we really appreciate your presence and your help in explaining this insightful session. Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you.
All right, so we've come to the end of this amazing session. Thank you all for joining and see you tomorrow at the main day. Thank you. Bye.